Hey, these games are pretty good, huh? This is a Hades and Hades 2 podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Patrick, and joining me this week and every week that we make this podcast is the homie Jake Twitch. And Jake, how you doing?
So well.
How do you feel about that opening? Hey, these games are pretty good, huh? Pretty
It's
good, right?
fucking fantastic. It drives me crazy. It's such a good podcast name.
The last in episode 1, the pilot episode of Hey, these games are pretty good, huh? A Hades and Hades 2 podcast, which we have to say every time we say it.
Of
I
course.
really, really didn't want to give in, and I was just having fun with you the whole time. But then the more I
Mhm.
sat on it, once we turned the lights off and we went to bed, I was like, I think we have to come back and do this more with this exact title because it's very good, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's really stupid. And I when we were talking about like the thumbnail and like my naming convention for it, I let go my inspiration to you.
Yeah.
And it's the title of that collection of video games, which is, hey, you want those games, huh? It's like, yeah, you want those games, huh? Well, here, let me see you clear them then, or something like that. It's a collection of mini games that are like the ones that you see in ads. You can get it on Nintendo Switch. Worth looking up. It's a very, very fun collection of games. However, the title is just like this obnoxious jumble of fucking words, and it's always just rubbed me the right way. And I'm looking for
Ooh.
a way to implement that on all of our content,
I love
always
a
and forever.
good
Hey,
rubbing the right way. You know who rubbed me the right way?
I was about to say,
You
I
tell
know,
me.
I already know.
You tell me.
It's Eula.
Yeah. With that 5 months in a row of the tier
Mhm.
1 sub, we love to see it. If this is your first time here, and hey, these are pretty good games, huh? A Hades and Hades 2 podcast. This is a little offshoot of Drop In, Drop Out, where me and Jake get together and we just talk all about Hades 2. And, we'll dabble in Hades 1, but really we're here to talk about Hades 2.
Yeah.
Last week, this was only, 2 days after launch of 1.0. And
Yep.
Jake was ahead of me by like 20 hours. He had not cleared the game yet, correct?
I had not cleared the game.
And now, as I
Mhm.
teased in the pre-show, I got my first clear at about 1:30 a.m. this morning, October 1st, 2025. And I texted you immediately. I was like, got my clear. We were talking Hades tonight. We're bringing it back,
It's
episode
time.
2. And you said
Hell yeah.
perfection. And since then, I've gotten to put in a couple more runs. I've still not cleared it again, but it's because I got a
Mhm.
little sidetracked with something else we're going to talk about.
Oh,
But so to kind of set the scene here, today's episode, will anything is on the table that had, like, if you have cleared Hades 2 at least once. So it's like it's going to be hard to really not talk
it's.
spoilers in some capacity, I think.
I think it's worth noting that although I am now further, and we'll get into like what I've experienced loosely. Um, Patrick is leading this conversation. What I asked him to do was like kind of take notes and him to guide where we go, because I have experienced things that he has not experienced yet, and I knew that things would get jumbled because I can't remember what I talked about on Saturday, much less what I have done in the last 3 runs versus the first 2 runs or something like that.
Yeah. I think the way I kind of wanted to start this conversation, though, before we just like jump into spoilers at large, is work our way to the Battle of Kronos. Last time we gave a lot of like high level thoughts. We talked a lot about like different experiences that we had and like thoughts on the game and characters and all that kind of stuff. But we didn't talk a lot about like the journey of the game, and I thought it might be interesting to go like area by area and just like
Mm.
shoot the shit. So like we can start with the first area, which now I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Well, do you remember the name off the top of your head?
Is it Erebus?
Erebus. It's Erebus. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the.
I think it might be
ones.
Erebus. Good. I like Erebus a lot. It reminds me a lot of color scheme wise the third area in Hades 1 that you get to, which is the most annoying area,
Yeah,
the worst
yeah, yeah.
area, that has the big butterfly balls and the little creatures that when you kill them, a little spirit comes out and you have to attack that spirit too, or it will regain its health. I hate that area. But I much more prefer Erebus. I think it's a cool visual and like a chill aesthetic, because Hades 1, when you start out, is very like in your fucking face. It is
Yeah.
like intense. It is mostly red You know, you're going through these areas that are, I don't know. The game as a whole is like a brighter and almost like more violent feeling world, whereas like there's something calming about Erebus to me. I think it starts off nicely, eases you into the madness that will become your Hades run.
I think so too. I think in general, I would say the regions of Hades 2 are also just much more kinder to your eyes, I think. Like they generally have that like similar color hue of like, oh, this is like the green world, this is the red world, this is the blue world, which they did kind of in Hades 1 as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I think in general the regions in Hades 2 are just, yeah, not as harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, so yeah, I like Erebus a lot because I forgot about that until right before last week's episode of Hades Games Are Pretty Good, Hades and Hades 2 podcast, when I played like an hour of
Right.
Hades 1. I was like, oh, and I almost cleared it. First time in fucking 5 years. Unbelievable programmer. In fact,
What
I
a fucking guy.
purposefully didn't clear it because I was like, we need to record in like 10 minutes, and I still have 3 death defiances on that run. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna die
Right.
because I wanted to get back to the House of Hades and remember a little bit about what was going on in there. But yeah, and then we end Erebus by fighting Hecate, which, so also maybe let's do a little on the fly ranking of the region bosses. What do you think about that?
Oh, I love that.
Hey,
I
Hecate
love
at
that.
the moment in the number 1 spot. I do really like the Hecate fight a lot. As the
Yeah,
fight that we have to do most often. I do like it.
for sure. I think it's really fun. I get a little bit annoyed with the phase where she splits in 3 because it is, I don't know, maybe there's a tell where I think outside of bopping her with an attack, I don't know if there's a way to tell which of the 3 Hecates is the real Hecate.
I think it's just with an attack, or we both just haven't figured out the other thing yet.
Right, yeah. So that, to me, I am a little like pissed sometimes where I'm like, fuck, it's not the first one or the second one, it's the goddamn third one.
Yeah.
And now my sweet run is taking a little bit longer than I would have liked. But that's not really a
Sure,
big
sure, sure.
complaint. I think Hecate's a very good one. And I think it's cool that your first battle is not really a battle, it's a test. It's like,
Yeah.
it's cool that that's like your homie, and it's not enemy vanquished, it's like a test complete or test passed.
It's one of, I think, my overall favorite things about Hades 2 compared to Hades 1 is all of the little ways, which we're going to get into some of that in a big way later in this episode, all of the little
Mm.
ways that they have just very slightly tweaked the formula narratively. Even though you're doing the exact same thing, you're getting to the end of a region, you kill the boss, you move on to the next region. You're doing that as you did in Hades 1 every single time. But yeah, it's just those little like tiny little twists that add just like a little bit of a difference that I really appreciate
I
and
agree.
make it feel just not quite as, "Oh, I'm just doing this again, but now there's a new story and I'm a new character and there's new other characters around me and all that kind of thing."
Yes.
Which then takes us to Oceanus, the second region, the underwater.
Oh my
Which
god.
I love that the whole theme of it is that you're on your way to a show, and it's Scylla's band, and because like the very first time you get to the end of it, and Malinois's like, "Oh, there's a queue. I wonder what that is." And then you get in there, and it's just like a fucking rock concert as a boss fight. It's just so fucking good.
Ooh, lady.
It's so good. Also, something that took me a few times to connect was, I don't know if because you're a famed Alan Wake 2 hater,
Definitely.
the band from Alan Wake 2
Oh,
that
is it
you
the fucking
especially don't
Queens of
like,
the Stone Age or
whatever
whatever the
they're called.
fuck?
I forget what they're called now. But
Vikings of Lost fucking Prophecy.
the gods
I
of
think is their name.
gods of something.
Asgard.
Gods of Asgard.
Something like that.
Because Scylla and her band play a few different songs, but the main one that they play the most often sounds so much like the main Alan Wake 2 song, the one that you really hate.
Oh god.
There's
Champion
something
of Light.
Yeah, there's like something about it that like musically reminds me exactly. Do the whole dance. You know the whole dance. I know you do.
I don't know the whole dance. I just know he spins and then goes to the side. And everyone
But
loves it. They
regardless,
eat that fucking blah, 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 eat it up.
oh god, you're such a contrarian fucking piece of shit. But yeah, I really like, in general, I really like Oceanus. Other than I really fucking hate those little fucking bird fishes that just fucking swarm you.
Oh, Yeah,
Because
yeah,
there
yeah,
are some
yeah.
builds that really it's really hard to defend that.
I agree for sure. It's a toss up where those things are either completely fucking trivial or just such an unexpected nuisance that I end up taking more damage to those birds at like the very end of that fight than I do the entire rest of the fight where I'm fighting the three shorties.
Yeah. Yeah, I think of all of them, I think I am the best at that boss fight. But also, I've still not put a lot of time into the sister blades or
Hmm.
the very first weapon, the staff thing.
Oh, I like the staff a lot.
I need to go back to it.
For me, that's the hardest fight for me at this
Really?
point, outside of the final boss. Yeah,
Sure.
I feel like I learned Hecate pretty well just because I've thrown my face at it so many times that I can go in there pretty much hitless most of the time. One of the most satisfying things in the world is graduating from getting hexed every single fucking time that second phase starts
Yeah.
to dashing through it and figuring out the fucking method and then her being like, that always works.
Yeah,
Like
it's very good.
oh my fucking god, so good. And then Cerberus, spoilers, it
Yeah.
was so hard to learn. Like that was such a roadblock for me
Same.
that I felt like I really had to study. Where I lucked my way through Scylla and like the rock shorties pretty well. Cerberus was a roadblock that I had to learn all of the moves, and because of that, I feel like I know that fight better now.
The last time that we recorded, I had not beaten Cerberus yet. And since then, I have not lost to Cerberus.
Oh yeah, that's
Because yeah,
nice.
same thing where like I think I figured it out for the most part. I think I even did a Cerberus fight where I don't think I took like more than probably 20 damage tops. Because I
Yeah.
feel like that's like, yeah, once you learn it, I think it starts to make a lot more sense on how to. But that area, I also really like the fields of
Fields of Sorrow, maybe.
mourning, the fields of mourning.
Yep.
I like, again, going back to that thing of like kind of changing the formula a little bit, where this time they're like, oh, what if like the map for these regions are huge,
Oh,
and because of
listen.
that, there's like sometimes 4 or 5 different things that and it's up to you. Like if you,
Dude.
well, actually, you do. There are the ones that you have to do, and then there's the ones that you don't have to do that are just like a nice little bonus. And those little bonus ones are so good.
It's so cool to just go in and be like, oh, 10 health. Like,
Yeah.
I'll snag that. But I love the Cerberus thing. That's really sweet. And they kind of explore that as well in the fields because sometimes the draw distance needs to be a little further. It's like pulling that camera back and showing the scale of like the Cerberus arena for the first time. And you're running around and it's all the same thing. And it doesn't really fuck up like any of your things that you've learned or timing or anything like that. But that view is so exciting to me where I'm like, God damn, look at this fucking video game. There's so much happening now. It's cool.
It's so fucking pretty. In terms of, so we forgot to rank Scylla. I would put Scylla above Hecate personally.
I think Scylla might be my favorite. Well, it's like the one that I still struggle with the most almost, but I love those three characters so much. It's such a cool hook, and it is so much more unique than any of the other boss fights in the game. It's so inspired, I would say.
And then I would put Cerberus last, even though I think it's pretty easy to, because going back to like what you just said, I think it's the least inspired of all of them because it's very similar to the fight in the first game. Because like you fight Cerberus in the first game too.
No, you don't.
You do you not?
I don't think so. You have to Cerberus blocks your way to get to Hades. And you have to go through the fourth area through all of the rooms to find Cerberus's treats. And then hand him the treats.
No, you're right. You're right. That's on me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
it
thinking
seems like
that
you're gonna
we
fight
fought.
him, but you don't actually fight him.
That's right.
Third area boss in Hades 1
Is the it's the two. It's the Minotaur and whatever guy.
and fucking Theseus maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course,
And
it's
then,
Hades.
so once we get past Cerberus, we're into Tartarus, which is where you fight Kronos.
Tartarus. Oh, dude, and it plays like a. I don't even know how to describe the different sound to the music, but it plays this like very fittingly remixed version of Out of Tartarus when you're in there, which is like the song that everyone knows from like the battles in early Hades 1, like
there's like a clock motif in this remix.
yes, it's like time. Like there is something about it that sounds like a a tinkering is happening
It's
in the sound. It's so fucking good.
it's so fucking good. The first time that I really started
Mm,
going through Tartarus, and I also really like, again, where they kind of mix up the formula where you can beeline it and just follow the like 5 4 3 2 1 until you fight Kronos, or every time
yes.
you get to certain increments you can veer off the path to go get an upgrade. And
Hmm.
it's that classic like, okay, what, like, do I need something? Do I feel like I'm powerful enough? Do I think I need to get a little bit more powerful to be able to take down Kronos? Or and of the so I've fought Kronos 3 times now, and I have
Sure.
succeeded once of the 3 times.
That's a
And
really good ratio. It took me probably 5 or 6 times to smash him.
I succeeded the second time, and then I failed again the third time. Or no,
Hmm.
that's no. Sorry, I failed twice in a row, and then I got him on my third time, and I've not gone back because of things we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay, before we go to Kronos fight, which I definitely want to get into and spend a decent amount of time on because I think that fight is fucking sick. Let's talk about the what do you call those characters? Like the when you see the two hands, do you think of them like what are they? The gift characters?
Yeah, because like, yeah,
Or
they're different in each region, right? They're like the
yeah,
yeah, like a gift character. They're
yeah, like they give you a gift of some
of
sort,
some
an
kind, and
enhancement.
it's
Yeah.
either like a boon or it's armor in more than one
Yeah.
of them.
So, and I think those characters are cool. So we got Arachne
Yep,
in the first area,
yep.
who is so sweet,
I
and
love
then
Arachne,
it's so good. And then you have in the second area is Narcissus,
which is
right?
such a good pull.
He's so fucking good. And when he's sitting there, you hear him talking to himself. And sometimes the shit that this guy fucking says is so funny. It's ridiculous.
There's one of my favorite
And
ones.
then
It was one of the first times I saw Narcissus where you like choose the bonus that you get. I don't remember what I chose, but then you say like, "All right, bye," and he's like, "Did somebody say something or something like that?" I forget what it was, but it was like he's just so busy
yeah,
locked in on himself that it
for
was like
sure.
that's I. They're so good at that shit of like. We
Hmm.
posted a reel on our socials today of how one of the things I really like about this game is that I'm learning about certain characters I don't know a ton about, like Hecate. But
Yeah,
then there's ones that I've learned about in school, like Narcissus, that it's like, oh, I know his thing. And then they just have these little references to like, oh yeah, if you know anything about Narcissus, this is like a really cool reference. And it's like I just love being in the know as much as I love learning about these characters with this game.
for sure. For sure. There are more so than any other game because Greek mythology is explored so fucking often
Yeah.
in video games. And I think like probably most famously God of War, would you say up till this point?
Up until this point, I would think Hades at this point is maybe overtaking it, especially in the
Hades
in the
is
modern
definitely
era.
overtaken it just because like for my frame of reference, like outside of I think I've had 3 phases in my life,
Yeah.
okay? When I heard Greek god's name as a child, I would think of the characters of Hercules. I would hear
Sure.
Zeus. I would hear Zeus and I would picture Zeus in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I had the God of War phase where I would hear Athena. I would picture
Calliope!
yeah, exactly. I would think of those gods in my head. And now I'm in my Hades era. And the Hades era is such a wide breadth of characters that I feel like I'll never have a more like complete visual of all of these characters more than in Hades and Hades 2.
And don't knock yourself short. There was also like the 2.5 era when you played Kingdom Hearts after God of War and you went
Oh,
to Hercules, Mount
that's right.
Olympus. And he's like, oh,
That's
now I'm
I'm
back to
back
the
on it.
Disney. Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Very good.
really like Tartarus a lot. And I also, let's just start pulling off some serious spoiler gloves. With that one, the gift area, you fucking see Hades. And
Oh my god, yeah, it's
and
so
Cerberus,
sick.
which is so fucking sick. And it's the kind of thing where it's like, now you start. The first time I saw them, I was like, but why is Cerberus here? Because, but then it's like, oh, I see. There's fucking timey wimey shit happening because Cronus is the Titan of time, and it's.
I think
Go ahead.
I don't think that it's I think that that is kind of explained. Not really explained, but I think that there's not so much timey-wimey shit. I think you Cerberus is fucked up and he's
Hmm.
like under his like spell or whatever in some kind of madness. He's been banished to the fields of whatever for this long. And then you defeat him and he immediately just runs back to Hades.
Oh, really? I thought it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
once you beat him. But then time gets rewound, and then when you see him on the next run, he's fucked up again until you send him back to Hades. Yep,
Because
I'm
of the
pretty sure.
other timey-wimey shit that's happening, I thought that within Tartarus that it's just all like it's a different time period.
I think still.
That's later, I guess.
I think still linear. Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, we get to
I'm pretty
Chronos,
sure.
and man, the first time I fought Chronos, the night after we recorded episode 1 of Hades, games are pretty good, huh? Hades and Hades 2 podcast. I got within probably 5% of getting down Chronos because of his health
phase
bar.
1 and
phase
2.
2. Because it was like
Wow.
I get phase 1 down. I like the build that I had. I wrote it all down. It's, you know, I could go through it. It's not as interesting to go through a Hades build per se, but it was with the skulls. And
Listen,
I was
talking with friend of the show, Squanky Joinkers, recently, and we were talking about our initial clears, and he made the point that it's like talking fantasy football when you're talking about Hades builds, where for somebody who is not in the know, it makes absolutely fucking no sense. You're talking complete gibberish. But if I start talking about like the boon that I got that enhanced my attack and like things like that, you'll be like, oh my god, what a combination.
All right, let me tell you a little bit about, because I took the time to write it all down.
Those clear builds.
So it was this is the one that I almost cleared, but I really should have. I think the reason that I didn't, to talk about, so you clear phase 1, and I was like, I got to the end of phase 1 and I took 1 hit on Chronos the first time I played him. Like, so it was all, I was fucking locked in. It was all making sense. I saw everything coming. And then I got to phase 2, and his first move in phase 2 is when he does like this entire map area of effect except the tiny circle. And I just didn't understand that.
And and that's like such a rite of passage, and it's so fun to get in there and be like, did he just do an attack that is unblockable and just takes a death defiance from me? Like, mostly yes, but also there is a way to stand. And that's, again, that I think we talked about it briefly on the last episode. There is like this MMO design influence where like that is such a World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14 type of mechanic that will be explored even further in other boss fights in the game that you haven't or have experienced yet. Very, very cool.
I've experienced a couple of them.
But go run to some random point where is safe is a fucking classic.
And then, I got so close. I was like, okay, I understand. The second time it happened is when I figured it out. I was like, okay. And then I was on I used my Death Defiance, and then I have the boon, the secret boon or special boon, whatever, that it's essentially a second Death Defiance, where instead of it only being like 40% of your health, I get like 100
Lucky
health.
Tooth.
Yeah, Lucky Tooth. And I'm on that. I've used the Lucky Tooth, and I'm just getting so close. But then he does the thing where he does the entire map attack, but there's also other little guys around. And so I had gotten in the little thing, and then I got hit with my last hit. But anyway, so it was the skull weapon build, and I forget, what are those called? The skulls.
I don't know. It's something skull.
Okay. Ardent Skull, the Ardent Skull. Maybe?
Ardent Skull sounds right.
It was very much a regaining magic build. So I had the boon where every second I was getting back like 8 or 9 magic. But then I also had a second thing where if I stood still for like 0.25 seconds, it would completely fill my bar, because I'd also leveled that up like 5 times. Argent Skull, thank you. And then it also, the skulls would come back to me, and I had so many different sprinting things that I was sprinting 40% faster. And whenever I was sprinting, I could take 2 pieces of damage that wouldn't hurt me. So I was like, I was just so, in so many different ways, because I had just gotten so many upgrades. And like, I had the moon thing that I could heal. The Selene's power that I could heal, and I had upgraded that to where I had like 6 heals per fountain. And then I also had the thing where I had unlocked this thing with Charon, where I kept being able to get like a second boon every time, basically. Not every single time, but and then the more health I had, the more damage I did. So that really helped me in the first phase, because I stayed at full almost the entire time. And then,
so like if you're above 80% or something, right? That it'll do the enhanced amount.
And then I could do the hex 8 times. I could heal 8 times, and I hadn't used a single one of them this time. So I got to heal like 45 health 8 times in this fight. I had
Yep.
2 death defiances essentially, and then my cast also created a gust that did like, I don't, minimal damage, but it did some damage.
Very good.
And I was
We
so
actually had
fucking close to beating him, and then he got me.
pretty similar builds on the one that I first cleared on. It was also Argent Skull, and it was Daedalus's hammer, and then a couple very fortunate, like I would say, mostly magic based enhancements that made it fucking perfect for me, because I had two things that would happen every time I shot the skull. It would automatically return to me,
Yeah,
which was huge.
that's the good stuff.
And then the second thing that I got on Daedalus's hammer was every time you collect a skull, it sets off your special attack, which is like a fucking bomb. So not only am I picking them up automatically, but if I have the magic to use it, it's doing like a fucking 200
Oh,
thing
that's
all
good.
the time. And then I was able to get it so that every time I landed my auto attack, it was replenishing magic. So I just had this like infinite fucking damage glitch of like, if I'm just standing there popping shots off, they're coming right back to me close range and I'm getting them inside there. And I was just melting things in my path. Like the builds in this game are so complementary of one another and so expertly put together that I feel like more than Hades 1, they were able to spend their time not developing, things like how does the character move and what does the art look like. They were able to just like specifically get these systems so perfectly balanced and in check that it doesn't feel like I'm breaking the game with these builds. It feels like I am solving these problems with these builds. Like it is so fucking satisfying.
It's like I got pretty deep with an axe earlier today, and it was like, oh, I figured out that like the trick with that, I didn't complete the run because it wasn't a run
Sure.
in the place that we've been doing runs the whole game so far. It was I would replenish shit every time I did the Y special, which is the spin. So it was like I would just spam the shit. I was just spinning nonstop the whole time, and I would never run out of magic. But what ended up getting me was that I didn't account for ranged weapons very well because I had to get close for the spin. So that's what ended up taking me down. Eula, always a pleasure to have you. Thanks for being here. But yeah, so I beat Kronos finally, and I did it with the skulls again. I was like, okay, I the second time I got to him with the Umbral Flames, but the build just wasn't there for that. So then I was like, okay, let me go back to the skulls because I got so close. And then the next time I got there with the skulls, I took him down. And then so now spoilers for beating Kronos the first time, which is all I've done. So I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about any beating him the second time because I've not done that yet. But beating him the first time, and then so actually what we didn't talk about is that the boss fight is in the lobby of the House of Hades. And the first time you come out of the fucking, now it's yellow for Kronos color.
The river Styx, right?
Oh, like you would do every time you would die in Hades 1, you come out of the red river.
So fucking sick.
Oh, it was that first, because I was like, oh, I hadn't quite realized where I was yet. And then I dove into the river, and then I come out of the river as Malinois, and I'm like, and it's like House of Hades ? I'm like, this fucking game, man. How do they keep doing it? And then they take it even further.
Go, yeah.
You kill Kronos. He does this whole thing. He's like, oh, I'll see you again because I'm gonna fucking. And then they're like, okay, great. I'm not just like going away now. I'm in the House of Hades. I can run around. And then I go to Zagreus' room.
Oh,
they put me to bed, and then I wake up, and there's the fucking mirror from the first game.
It's so sick.
And I go through, and I'm talking to fucking Zagreus from the first game.
Correct. It is so rad to see Zag in that conversation. Is also so incredibly fucking dope. A question about House of Hades.
Yeah.
You experienced the flashback, right? At some point?
As like Tiny Malinois?
Well, no, you play as... Oh, it is Tiny Malinois. Well, there's two.
I've only had one then. I haven't triggered the second one. Is there one where you play as Tiny Zagreus in this game? Zagreus?
No, it's a different character. But I think you've experienced it.
Are you sure? So there's one, it's toward the beginning.
I want to say so.
And I'm young Malinois, and I'm with Hecate. And it's like I don't remember exactly the context, but I'm trying to pull. It's like it seems like maybe Hades had just disappeared or something, and so Hecate was like, "We're gonna have to train you how to fucking."
And you're in the crossroads, right?
You're in the crossroads, and there's like tents and shit.
I want to say this was early. I feel like this was definitely first clear for me. So I'm going to talk about it because I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sure
fine.
you've experienced it, and this will trigger it. But it's a flashback of how Kronos takes over the House of Hades, and it shows you play as Hades briefly in the House of Hades, and Hecate comes
I
and
have not
takes
had this.
Oh, interesting. It's not like there's no big lore reveal there or anything like
Yeah.
that, and I'm just trying to wonder what
You know
triggered
what?
it, I guess.
I'm pretty sure I haven't done this. However, there
Mm-hmm.
was one night I took a sleep gummy. And the
Okay.
sleep gummy, which isn't supposed to make you feel fucked up, I guess I had an emptier stomach than I thought or something. And I'm laying in bed playing Hades. This was the night after, so this would have been after Kronos got me when he only had like 2 hits left, but before I
Mm-hmm.
went to sleep. Because I remember you had said, take notes. I want to know what you're experiencing so that when we do this episode we're doing right now, you can
Right.
kind of guide the conversation. And I remember thinking, I'm too fucked up right now to be taking notes. I'm just going to stop playing. So there is technically a chance that that happened then, and I just was that fucked up. But I
I
really
do think
don't.
that it happens at the end of a run. I do think it happens, but it's
Where
it's
is it
small.
ever
It's
run when you
minimal.
die or when you don't die?
When you die. Yeah,
I'm
happened to me before I got my first clear for sure.
okay. Maybe
Very
I'm
early
just
game, I
forgetting
want to
it.
say.
So
Even.
okay, so you play as Hades. Kronos
It's just
takes
another
over.
cool moment of like you play in Hades. In the House of Hades is in its like full
Red.
color, right? Like
Yeah.
it's still red and everything, and you're in your room and you are playing as Hades in that little secret room, and you have a quick conversation with Hecate. You hand over Melinoe, and then you exit the hall of like your room, and you go to where you would normally sit, and at your desk is Kronos, and it's like
Oh,
Kronos's reveal
you know, I'd have to do this. I was thinking
of
for a second. I was thinking. I remember there being a House of Hades thing, but that was in my an hour of playing Hades 1 because like Persephone was there, but that was last game.
interesting. I can't believe you haven't hit that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has something to do with early access. The reason is because it has to do with my theory crafting, which I still don't have an answer on for you as
Okay.
far as like what's going on. But it does have many characters from the first game appear there.
Okay. Which
they're,
a
like,
lot of the characters
frozen.
aren't in this game, so there is something there.
I agree. There's a lot of characters that are like frozen in a bubble, like a time bubble.
Like that.
And I
move that he
started to
does.
think, I'm like, yeah. I was like, ooh, are we gonna start rescuing these motherfuckers one by one? Because that would make me insane. I
That
love
would
my
be-
little nostalgia fucking
because
points. Like,
the thing, my most recent mind blowing thing with this game is they fucking Tears of the Kingdom us.
Yeah.
There's a whole fucking second half of this game of going
Yep.
upstairs and trying to get to Mount Olympus, and
it's unreal.
unfucking believable. And it's like I was so many hours into this game, and I was like, I hadn't unlocked the thing, the witch spell, the brew, whatever that lets me go up on the
Well,
on Earth
I
and
wondered-
not get hurt.
During the podcast, I wondered last time, I was like, does he even know that you can, like, that there's another entrance there? Like, because you can see it from the beginning.
Right. And so when we recorded last week, I had gone on top like 3 times, but I never made it past like the 3rd room because I kept dying. But I didn't want to. I felt like that is it's the hard thing. It's like the Tears of the Kingdom thing where it's like, have you found anything that's like really big? Because you don't want to just say like, do you realize that there's a whole nother map underground?
There's the half the game is it's really fucking cool.
But then I was like, you know what? I'm realizing I was like, Ben Starr is some big character in this game, and I've now met Kronos, and it's not Kronos. So I'm like, oh, that must be he's. And so then I googled it, and I won't say the character he plays, but I'm now assuming that he is a major character.
Why aren't you gonna what? All right, here's my reveal. I cleared upstairs last night or 2 nights ago.
So have you met Prometheus?
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't met Prometheus yet, but that's Ben Starr.
All right, very dope, and that makes sense.
Yeah. So right before we were recording, I died on the second area's boss fight. So like the ships of upstairs. I
Oh,
got
dude, the fucking
to
ship
fighting
area.
Eris, who I had seen several times in the underworld,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh,
and
this is cool.
she
She's
has
tough.
the bolt or whatever from the first game. She's using the
That's
gun.
right.
Yeah, and
This
that's the
fucking
second
game, man.
appearance of one of Zag's fucking arms or whatever they're called, because
Oh yeah,
Nemesis is holding Zag's fucking sword
that's right.
from the first game,
That's right.
which is wild.
It's so fucking cool. But yeah,
There's
once I
other unaccounted for weapons.
yeah, which we're gonna find them, I'm sure. But yeah, so let's pump the brakes a little bit. Go back to beating Kronos and talking to Zagreus. So
Sure.
do we think? Because I remember in the first game talking to the mirror and there being like dreams and shit. Do you
Mhm.
remember him ever having a sister in the first game?
No. So
No.
that's the thing that I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop on. Now I've cleared upstairs. I've cleared downstairs twice. So I've gotten
Okay.
a second ending.
Okay.
But I will reveal to you this much. It doesn't do a whole lot to clarify the questions that I have.
Okay.
So I am still very much in a theory crafting place with you, where I am trying to figure out if they are not retconning, but like recontextualizing some of the conversations and situations that are happening in Hades 1, or if we are barking up the tree of like, I started thinking, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but like, could Hades 1 be in this game? Like, at some point, can I play as fucking Zagreus and redo our Hades 1 type run or something like that?
I think there is a non-zero chance that at the very least there is a sequence, like a scripted sequence of some kind where Melinoi and Zagreus come together or something, because
Oh,
I think, yeah, when you go there and Zagreus is like, I'm not going to remember this because I'm sleeping, or she says that or whatever.
yeah.
And I'm like, I remember that mirror, but it was the kind of thing where, because I played it 5 years ago and so much has happened since then, I couldn't
Same.
remember all of the little details, but I remember there being this like mysterious something about the mirror. So I was like, wait a second, have they been hinting at this since fucking 2020? Which maybe they have,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's the kind of thing where I've not cleared it enough where I was like, I can't go looking for this because I'm gonna just ruin so much shit for myself. And what I'm realizing with this game is that there is so much awesome narrative shit in here that I want to do as much as I can to not be spoiled of those kinds of moments. Like, I knew
For sure.
that we were gonna see Zagreus in this game at
Mm-hmm.
some point. There's no way we weren't going to. But now I'm like, okay, now I got to find Persephone. Now I got to find all these other characters from Hades 1 that I ran
Yes.
into fucking Icarus on a run
Oh,
earlier. And I was like,
so sick.
that's right. Another character that we used to see more of in Hades 1, right? Wasn't Icarus in 1?
I think so.
I
I
think-
get Icarus and Hermes mixed up. I think it might have been
Oh,
Hermes.
sure.
I'm actually not positive Icarus was in the first one.
Yeah, no, actually, maybe you're right. Maybe,
Icarus is my boyfriend.
yeah?
I
Speaking
think
of
so.
boyfriend, let's do a hard fucking pivot. Who are you taking baths with, Jake?
Fucking Nemesis, dude.
Yeah?
I am so deep into the fucking bath era right now with Nemesis, and pretty deep with Dora as well.
Okay.
Pretty deep with Dora.
You trying to fuck a ghost?
I think it'd be fascinating. After
Yeah.
I took the bath with Nemesis and realized that this whole thing was like a fucking horny ass hot tub.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, we need to talk. Let's just put it this way: you have not seen the horniest thing in this game yet, even fucking close.
Yeah, I figured I haven't, because I also just unlocked the ability to track relationship progression, and I
Huge.
see there's this like 3 heart thing at the very end. It's like, oh, we gonna be fucking in some capacity in this.
There's multiple like I think we were talking about last time how like it feels, the relationship situation feels more like Stardew this time.
Yeah.
Where there's like events that you
I
hit,
see that
like,
now. I didn't understand
these
that
like
then.
milestones.
Yeah.
Yep. And each one gets like, progressively more interesting. And I mean, the Nemesis one, I'll be honest, is like it's cool and funny, but it's a little bit one note as far as like, oh, Nemesis is like, she's a tough lady and doesn't like to talk about her feelings, and Melinoi is trying to break down those barriers, and every once in a while she lets her through. And I don't know how much further it's going to go, but the Dora one has been a little bit more fulfilling in that way. But there is, we will talk about it, but the next time that you hit a a critically horny spot in the game
Yeah.
is when I want to do the next episode.
Great,
Where
okay.
you're going to be like, this is the horny spot that we were talking about. There's no doubt in my mind that you will know when it is,
Fantastic.
and it will happen on a run.
Okay, good to know. I've done
Mm-hmm.
3 baths. I've taken a bath with Nemesis, I think twice.
Yep.
I've bathed with Dora.
Very
Dora,
good.
right? The ghost, right?
Yep.
And then Lord Moros, the Fates guy. That's by the little
Oh,
missions
very
thing.
cool. I wish I was. I'm so uninterested in Apollo. I need to start working on Moros because he got here a little bit late. Hey, is there anybody else in your Crossroads currently?
So let's see. I feel like I'm missing a fair amount of people in my Crossroads. I just had Selene come there, and I realized the more because I've been mostly doing Nectar and the Crossroads. I've done some Nectar out in the world. Charon's the one that I've gotten like almost all of my Nectar outside because I've been.
Sure.
And now that I can track it, I'm like one away from some kind of event happening with Charon. But I have Lord Moros. I've had Artemis come one time, and we sang one time. I've had Eris come like 4 or 5 times now, and
Okay. Yeah.
I've picked up enough trash that I just also unlocked the ability to upgrade all the weapons. That was like,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was able to upgrade one of the weapons like 7 times because I've had so much
Eris
trash.
is the one that I was talking about.
Okay.
Who I think is the only other like. She comes and goes much like Nemesis does, though. You know what I mean? Like she's there. I would say probably more often than not.
I figure based on I feel like there's space for like a couple more people.
Yeah,
but I don't know who they would be quite yet, but I assume that there's going to be something.
Yeah.
Because
hey, you meet any
go ahead.
Other new people out in the world since you're clear?
That's something I probably should have written down. I definitely remember Icarus, but I have not done another Underworld run since I beat Kronos. Because I just keep going upstairs because I'm so interested in what that can be. Now
so you haven't met a new boon giver?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think, when was the last time I got a new boon? I mean, Icarus gave me a boon, but it was more of just like a power up.
It happens pretty early. I'm not sure what triggers it though. If it's just like
what is the
getting
element
to a certain point.
One?
The element is an effect called hitch, and hitch, when you inflict hitch on somebody, the damage that you do to any enemy that has hitch inflicted on them, 30% of that damage is duplicated towards other enemies that have hitch inflicted on them.
That is good.
It's very good, and it's how I got my second clear of Kronos, and I got it fucking handily. It was a
Is it a god from the first game that you remember? No? Okay. Then I don't think I've seen this new character. Once we're done here, I'm going to go do another Underworld run and see how far I can get and see what new things.
Sure. Yeah, very good stuff. Have you reached the point where you can do the aspect thing from the first game, where you can customize your weapons to have?
Well, customize, so I can customize them to, like, there's like it's like the witch's brew thing where it's like I have to have ingredients. So I've done that.
Yep.
And then I also have the thing where I can upgrade the tarot cards as well.
Oh yeah, your grasp.
Yes.
Oh no, you're talking about when you flip them backwards and you can use the salt or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
I now have 2 Death Defiances. I was like, once I realized that I needed what 6 of them. Go ahead.
Animal familiars.
I've not figured that out yet, I don't think. I was texting with a group and I said, I was trying to figure out if they've gone up to what is it called? It's the underworld. It's not the overworld. What is going up called? It's going to the surface, I guess.
Ascending to the surface. Yeah.
I was trying to be like, hey, so what have you guys unlocked in the Crossroads? Trying to see like, oh, I unlocked going to the surface, but neither of them said that. But then one of them mentioned something about animal familiars. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I've unlocked that.
Double check that you can't brew, because I was a little bit confused on that, and I think I let it sit for a little while. When you're at So Mote It Be, at the cauldron, the main brewing cauldron, you have 2 tabs. And it's that second tab where you can brew consumables.
So second tab, I can only do, I just pulled it up now. I can only do shadow extraction right now on the second tab.
Got it. Okay. So it's on the second tab, there will be something that will allow you to get interested in that.
I guess it's, my guess is that I have to level up my relationship with maybe like Artemis, someone that would be with animals.
I have gun to my head. I have no idea what the fuck would trigger.
Okay.
What would trigger that? I'm not positive, but um,
See, then I was
those
like,
have
fuck, I
been
want
very,
animal
very
familiars.
exciting.
I want to see what I can do with Froggy. I want to see what I can do with.
Oh,
I met the cat in the Surface's second area. I'm like, what can I do with the cat?
Yep.
I don't think I've seen any
It
other
is fun.
animals.
Where when you bump into animals, you're like, oh, you're gonna be my friend eventually.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know what's happening here. It's very, very good. Very
It's also a
satisfying in
fun
that way.
thing. Speaking of like just really satisfying things about the game, when I get to a place and it's like, oh, you can't do that yet, and it's like, oh, I didn't even know that that's something I could do. So now I got to go and figure out, okay, what do I need to be able to get through the barriers in that first place on the surface. I still don't know what I can do, but there's something that I can do, and there's going to be something behind all those barriers, and I don't know what that's going to be, but I now that is like a sub task that I'm trying to figure out. And it's like, I understand that what they are doing here is science. It is, they have figured out, much like so many corporations of junk food do,
Right.
they have figured out what is the science to make me want to just keep playing this game, and they've fucking nailed it. And it's it's these tiny achievable tasks that just make me
it's these
wanna
little
never put it down.
boosts.
Yeah.
For sure. They definitely give you like a little trickle
Yeah.
of like, oh, that was fucking sick. I can't believe I unlocked that. And there is no other fucking game that makes me feel better than Hades when it comes to like accomplishing something and then being like, well, I said I was done, but I was like, we gotta go see what that just fucking affected over there. Like,
Yeah.
what can I brew now? And I brew something and I'm like, oh my god, now I can fucking get this done or unlock that. I want to talk about my best advice for a sweet fucking aspect of a weapon and then ask sixth weapon.
No,
not yet.
Not yet. No.
But you know what it is, right? You can see it.
I think I
just
can
can't unlock it.
see it. Let me look, because I'm in the crossroads right now.
Yeah. So the weapon that I got my second clear with, and the weapon that I got my first clear of the upstairs with, was the axe, which I had previously told you was not a favorite of mine. But this is so fucking cool. The aspect of Thatanos, which is, do you remember who he was from the first game?
Yes, because I saw him on my one run of Hades 1 before last week's episode of Hades Games Are Pretty Good, Hades and Hades 2 podcast. But now I don't remember what he was. He was a boss.
He's the one who shows up. No, he shows up once in a while, and you have the competition with him of who can kill more people.
That's right.
And he'll duplicate your reward if you beat him. And then sometimes he pops up in House of Hades, but he's kind of like he's like a Halloween costumed guy who holds a big fucking scythe. And the axe turns into his scythe, and its default ability is that it swings 30% faster, which immediately makes the axe like a much more usable weapon by default. You mix that with a fucking Daedalus hammer that also increases its speed, and all of a sudden you've got, even with no other boon or improvement, you have such a mean fucking melee weapon, dude. It is unbelievable and like super, super slick. And you can do some very, very cool things where it'll have like the Daedalus hammer could make it so that your final strike hits twice, or oh god, it's fucking
I'm one
insane.
nightshade short, so because I've not been going to the underworld, I keep going.
But
to
that's
the
so easy to get. You'll have it. You'll have it after your first underworld run.
For sure.
You know.
Let's welcome Kayla Gray 6 and Cognitive Clips in the chat. The homies, where they're contributing to Patrick's and Jerica's super secret jamboree. We love to see
Very
it.
good.
Thanatos is where Thanos got his name. How about that? That makes sense.
Oh, that's so true. I get that now.
Kayla wants to know the secret so bad. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while.
I would say so.
I'm so excited though, Jake, to pull the car over for a second. I'm building this up in such a way that I'm going to make the expectation potentially unattainable, but I really think that it's gonna be attained. Like, I think if we can pull this off, you're not gonna hate it, Kayla. I think it can be pulled off, and I think it's gonna be so much fucking fun for all of us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it'll be great.
The thing I need to figure out here's a little trickle. Kayla's is gonna get a trickle. Here's a tiny little. I'm going off script
dribble
here. the audience won't be playing a game with us.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit different than a Jamboree in that sense.
That's okay.
But they will be involved. Oh, but they'll be involved, Jake. Oh, I can't wait. Back to Hades. Games are pretty good, huh? A Hades and Hades 2 podcast.
Right.
I'm looking at my notes. We've gone through just about all the notes that I took, but
Hmm.
I want to do some theory crafting for you, but you're going to know some of
For
these
sure.
answers probably.
If
So
I know, I
don't.
will tell you
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Don't
Because
worry. I'm very protective
on
of
my
spoilers.
run earlier, I realized that because I was like, at first I was like, why am I on the surface? Like, I don't fully understand. But I realize now that I'm making my way toward Mount Olympus, and I
Yeah, for
assume
sure.
Prometheus is going to be part of that with the bin star of it all.
Hmm.
Kayla asks, how many hours are we both in? Do you know the number of your hours?
I do. Yeah. When we last checked in, I was at like 39 hours. I'm now at 53 hours, and I have cleared the game 3 times technically,
Okay.
twice south, once north, and also captured on stream. So I streamed it the last time that I played on stream. I had my only issue with Hades so far. The game got a little confused with like tabbing in and out of it, and it crashed one time. And then throughout my playthrough of the remainder of like the evening or the run, it would crash like every 10 minutes while I was on stream. And I was like, fuck, something's going on. And it was fine. I would reset and I would go. And then I was on the last fucking boss in second phase
No.
Chronos, absolutely fucking destroying him. And it crashed again. And when I rebooted, my save had me back in the crossroads from 50 minutes prior. And I realized what happened. I think at first I was like, I was cheated out of a clear of Hades, right? But I believe what happened was that my save file had gotten so corrupted that it realized it was fucked up and it rolled back to its last known good save. So I think that possibly I sacrificed a run to save my save file. And I'm happy
That
with that.
that would have been if
It
there
made
was
me
a
pretty
game
fucking crazy.
breaking thing like that with this game, I would be so devastated because I don't think I could immediately start over all the progress. I would probably need a little bit of time, but then
If I
those like,
wasn't
yeah,
if I wasn't on stream, I would have had a much different reaction to that. But the series of events that transpires is I go, okay, something was obviously critically fucked up. I'm restarting my whole streaming computer, which I fucking hate doing if you know anything about me.
yeah.
Oh my God, taking the stream offline and then bringing it back online sucks. Um,
Not when you were doing your IRL
I
streams. You loved doing that.
I do love doing that. But I will say, I then tried to like, make lemonade, as they say, when life
Yeah.
gives you lemons. When Hades gives you lemons, I
Showed
was
black
like,
grass.
okay, well, I wanted to hold this whole time. I was like, I'm going to show everybody where I'm at because I've been playing the game for another 15 hours and I haven't streamed it since then. I was doing that all off stream. So we get all the way to Chronos, which would have been a clear, and everybody agrees. It was the most dominant fucking performance of a run ever. And then I leave, restart the stream, and I go, all right, I want to show you guys all this because I've been alluding to it, but like being like, all right, if you're worried about spoilers, now's the time to tune out because we're doing another run, but it's gonna be different. And I went north,
Yeah.
and on that fucking same run, back to back, I went north, made a very similar build, and I fucking beat the entire
Wow.
situation up there for the first time, and I got it done on stream and captured. So it was
Cool.
like these back-to-back fucking runs where it is such a good 2-hour encapsulation of the vast majority of what Hades 2 has to offer, and it captures my first clearing of the game in a way
That's
up
awesome.
there. It was very good. Yeah.
I do wish one of the things that I'm missing about the experience, like I've had you to talk to, but I think it would be really, I bet you're having a great time with chat of like
Mm-hmm.
experiencing it for the first time in that capacity, like with community, because there are times when it's like last night, I'm talking to fucking Zagreus and I'm like, Rose is asleep next to me. I'm like, I'm about to fucking wake her up, and she has no idea who these characters are because I just want to talk about it immediately, which is why I
For
texted you
sure.
to be like, we're recording tonight.
Tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I said tomorrow, and then I had to clarify what that meant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kayla, to answer your question for me, I'm 15 hours in on Switch, and I'd put in 8 hours on PC early access, but I have not. I just left those 8 hours in the past. I didn't like combine the save or whatever. I eventually I'm gonna make it to where I can bring the Switch save to my PC because I just want to like play it on the PC and see if how much better it is, if it is better than the Switch version. Because
Mm,
so far I've only had one issue with the Switch version. It crashed on me once, but it crashed on me in the crossroads. So it was like it
mm-hmm.
didn't fuck up a
No
save of
love
mine.
lost.
Otherwise, it's been completely
Flawless, yeah.
clean, not a single stutter of any kind or issue, which is, and I've played 80% of that 15 hours in handheld mode.
Nice. I am 54 hours in now. So an
Okay.
extra 15 versus when we last talked is what it took for me to beat the game
Yeah.
twice and then again on the surface
Yeah.
once.
Kayla asks,
Almost three times.
after being much further in, do you guys still agree that you don't have to play the first? I don't think you have to play
Mm-mm.
the first at all.
I don't think in good consciousness I cannot recommend Hades 2 as a jumping in point. It's very like when Nomura does a fucking interview and he's like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a great place to start for fans and newcomers alike. And it's like, okay, buddy, like you can try. And I'm always surprised at how many people will be like, oh yeah, Jak 2 was my first Jak and Daxter game. And I'm like, what kind of weird fucking parallel universe are you guys living in where you're like a great place to jump in is the second game? Like, why wouldn't you
Sure.
just go to the fucking first game? I'm very completionist in that way. Like, I would never recommend Tears of the Kingdom before Breath of the Wild, and Hades is. I actually think Hades 1 and 2 are very similar. I might have said this in the very last podcast that Hades 1 and 2 are very similar to Breath of the Wild 1 and 2 in that when I have to bring up my favorite games of all time, I'm only going to have one Hades slot, and which game will go in there, I don't know. The other one will be significantly lower in rank just because I want more room for variety in that prestige. But the games are so good that I would recommend just going for Hades 1 because if you like Hades 1, then there's so much more to offer. And then going to Hades 2 and going back to Hades 1 might not be as good of an experience because at this point, it will seem like a game that is, even though it's chock full of content, is more bare bones than what Hades 2 has to offer.
I last week we both I think said, you know, I think you can just start with Hades 2, but I don't think that anymore. And I think what I would say is if it were me and I had never played Hades before Hades 2 came out, and I'm listening to Hades Games, a pretty good a Hades and Hades 2 podcast, like Kayla Gray 6 in the chat is, and I just want to get
Right.
to Hades 2 as fast as possible, I would do Hades, which is available on Game Pass, as she says in the chat, on God mode. So it makes the game easier. Because like part of the issue in my mind is that going from 2 to 1, as I did last week before we recorded, there's one very big difference between 2 and 1 at a glance, and it's that in the second one you can sprint and in the first one you can't. And I think it is so difficult to go from being able to sprint to only being able to dash, and I would never wish that on my worst enemy. So it's like I would start with Hades 1 for sure.
Likewise, it's also very difficult to only be able to sprint and not be able to double or even triple dash because I came pretty fresh off of getting my last two clears of Hades 1, and my impulse so often was a double tap of A or X to get the fuck out of dodge, and that being significantly delayed or leading to me not sprinting after the dash was really tough in my opening hours of
Oh,
Hades 2.
interesting. I didn't have that experience.
Yeah, Hades, because you get really penalized if you wait for that second dash. Like in Hades 1, it is a very satisfying, like you got basically iframes the entire time if you double tap. Whereas this one, you are stagnant for like a full second before you can dash again.
I mean, not stagnant. You're running. You don't have to stand still.
Not if you don't hold it at all. If you just go to tap and then if you're
Well, if
just
you tap
mashing
it,
A
you can't
to
double tap
dash
it.
twice as much as you pause, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
bad.
unless there is a boon that lets you do that, where it instantly recharges your, or not
You're
instantly,
right.
but
Yeah,
it makes it a
sprint
lot,
the
lot quicker.
30% faster. Yeah, for sure.
Something like
Recovery
that.
speed. Yep.
But yeah, I would start with 1, and because the thing about 1 is to get to credits, you have to beat it 10 times, and I could see that being a tough ask, knowing that Hades 2 exists right now. Like I would, like if it's me, I'd be like, oh, I cleared it. Okay, I'm gonna go play Hades 2. But really, just clearing it isn't beating the game. And so I would, and the first time it's gonna take you so many fucking times to beat Hades 1.
It's going to take you 15 hours minimum to beat Hades.
And then, so yeah, I don't know.
A single time.
That's why I would suggest God mode, just to kind of ease
It took
that
me,
a little bit.
my Hades 1 time played is very accurate because I only ever had one save file and I beat it 10 times flat over the course of 5 years. And it is 56.4 hours. Is how long it took me.
At some point, the Switch resets your game time, like on your profile. So it's saying I've only played Hades for 1 hour, which isn't true. So I'm just going to boot up Hades real fast because I put
that's so crazy.
hours into Hades.
I'm at 53.4 hours in Hades 2. I'm exactly 3 hours short of my Hades 1 playtime. And I've only cleared 3 times, 2 and 1 versus the 10 that I cleared in Hades. It's such a beefy game.
There's also a lot of... Go ahead.
Hades is a weird game to recommend as far as like what to expect. Like, it is just not a game that's meant to be rushed through or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
I recommend playing Hades on Game Pass and seeing if it clicks for you, because most people that play it ends up clicking for them, and they would like to spend as much time playing Hades as possible and getting better and run around the whole 9 yards. It is just fucking very, very fun.
Man, the save file doesn't give you a time. It just gives you how many escape attempts you've done, which I did 52. That's a bummer. But I would think I probably if you put 55, that sounds probably, I would probably put between 50 and 60, I would think. Another thing that I just remembered by booting up Hades for 20 seconds, Hades 2, I think from a menu perspective, is like so much cleaner across the board. I think there's a lot of really basic design decisions with Hades 1 of its menu set, because it's simpler. There's not as many things in the crossroads, and there's not as many like things to be tracking. And I think the way that they updated it for 2 is very, very good. They did a good job.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, I never finished theory crafting with you.
Yeah, I would love to hear
it. So right now I've only gotten through, or I didn't get through. I died on the second boss fight of the surface run. But my assumption is I'm trying to get to Mount Olympus to get the gods to help in some capacity with defeating Kronos. I don't know if that is going to culminate in just unlocking something in the crossroads that I can use to make the runs in the underworld easier. If it's someone's going to like come to the cross, I don't know what that is yet because I've not got there, obviously. But I think ultimately I assume that we will not be able to hit credits until we have gotten to Mount Olympus at least once or enough times, whatever. You would know this, but you're not going to say. To then, I'm sure that there's something like you wouldn't be able to achieve X in the underworld unless you do this on Mount Olympus, is my assumption. And I'm sure it has something to do with Kronos' spell or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that either, and I will say that my main, even with the knowledge that I have of 2 clears and an upstairs clear, very much of my theory crafting is still informed only by that first ending that I got, that you have also experienced, and I'm wondering still in what direction we're going. And it seems like, if I were to guess, right, the solution for beating Kronos will be to beat him in different time periods at like the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what would make the most sense, is like, it's going to be like Avengers Endgame. Like, we have to go back and we have to do this in that time frame and that time frame. And that's why my theory of like Zag's story playing into it is, I guess, like a main theory of mine, because I think it's going to have to be like Zag kills Kronos in his timeline and we kill Kronos in our timeline. And if they sync up or something, that all works. So I'm wondering, I liked your idea of like, it might not be like a full run, but maybe there's like a Zag Kronos boss fight that we have to do after we beat a Kronos boss fight, or like the 10th boss fight with Mel or something like that.
You know what it probably
really
is?
rad.
Because I think we're online enough in gaming that I think we would have been spoiled of playing as Zagreus by now. Because people just are fucking crazy about that shit.
I don't know. You didn't get spoiled about playing on the fucking top of the map.
Yeah, I guess. But no, that's a good point. But I wonder if it's not that it's a scripted moment or whatever as Zagreus, but I wonder if there is a version of the Chronos boss fight that you get to fight alongside him. He's like
Right.
there with you, kind of thing.
Well,
But I don't know.
yeah. So that's my thought too, and I'm wondering if there is. Here's the thing: is that in. Oh no, that's not true. I was gonna say, it's the ice shorty. What's her name? Is the one that you unlock when you beat Demeter. You beat for the first time when you beat Hades. You get her boon. I was thinking it was the mom who you end up talking to 10 times.
That's Persephone, right?
Persephone, good call.
Yeah.
I was wondering if like maybe there's like a Zagreus boon or something like that he might grant you in some way. But
well, yeah, that
still,
would
still
there
more
would have
fun
to
to
be,
explore for you on boons and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I also assume at some point, because right now the only way that we've talked to Zagreus is through time and through dreams in the sleep realm or whatever. So I bet Hypnos is going to play a part in that in some capacity.
Okay, so I have one of my big looming things right now is that, and I don't think this is a spoiler. I don't think you'll care about this because I also don't have the fucking answer. But I now have a recipe that I cannot complete for like
waking him up.
It's like something with Poppy or something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta fucking find out. I feel like that's gonna be such a key story beat.
At the beginning, it's another one of those fucking things of like, he won't wake up, and it's this whole thing, and it's like there is a big reason why he's sleeping narratively,
for sure.
And then the first time you talk to Zagreus, you have to be asleep. It's like, oh, okay, fucking yeah, it's gonna have like there's going to be something with Hypnos, which is very fun to kind of work toward.
I don't know if you've had it yet, but like sometimes Hypnos shows like little signs of like consciousness.
Yeah,
he
said
walked
one
by
thing
him
to me
one time,
so far.
And he was like, "Welcome to like," and then kind of like goes back to sleep, like he's gonna do his like opening line from when you get to Hades, the Hall of Hades.
I don't remember what he said because it was the kind of thing where I was clicking A too fast, and I just in the I've talked to him every time in the hopes that he just wakes up, even though we know he's
fucking
not gonna.
Salute everybody. I just like have this fear in this game where I'm like, I just know that I'm gonna end up in some situation where I'm like, why didn't I gotten this? And I'm gonna look it up after like my 9th run, and they're gonna be like, you have to have saluted Hypnos 100 times, and I'm gonna be like, fuck, I've only saluted Hypnos once or some shit like that, you know?
Exactly. But after my first clear, I talked to Hypnos for a second, and he said something. He said like 3 words, and Melinoe's like, "Oh, did you?" And I was like, "Fuck, I didn't catch what he said." And I meant to. Yeah. Now I'm like, "Oh, why didn't I do the last 30 seconds recording?" And I forgot. I'm sure it was not anything major. It was more so just that he spoke. I think is probably all I needed to get from that. But this fucking game, man. Last time we talked, I was like, this is my number 3, and the only thing keeping it from being 1 or 2 is the narrative. It is now at 2. And I think the only thing keeping it from 1 is just finishing.
Which one? Expedition 33?
No.
It is?
No. That's like number 14 for me. Number 1 is Blueprints.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, because this isn't a Blueprints podcast, so I don't want to spoil what is my moment of the year so far. But there's a moment that you get in Blueprints after like 50 runs or whatever, where like you find this room that is this huge like unlock for what's happening in the overall world. And my jaw was just on the fucking ground. And I'm assuming that there's going to be
what room?
I guess Blueprint spoilers, like pretty major ones.
Light Blueprint spoilers.
We'll say it's a pretty major spoiler. There's a when you figure out the puzzle of the now I can't forget all of the different terminology, but underground where there's all the water, and you can go to this big room down there.
Okay,
that is like a bunker
with like a mechanism thing.
No. There's multiple mechanism things, but this one, it's like you go in there and it's like a wartime bunker. This room. Did you see this room?
Is it the one that you visit multiple times? Like the first thing that you do?
No. This is one that You could visit it multiple times, but it's the puzzle of it is getting the boat through all of the of and like getting the boat through that really big like pipe. That's the puzzle for getting to this room.
I'm not entirely possible. I'm not entirely
You
sure that
probably
I've
didn't do
ever
it,
moved the boat.
brother. I'm just gonna tell you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, dude.
Unless we're gonna,
Jeez,
unless
these games are blue.
unless we do like a best moments of the year, which I can just say it again. We have 3 people in the chat. Sirius is one of them who I think also experienced this
Sierra
based on the
says you
couple
didn't
chats.
stream it at least, Jake. I only played that game on stream.
Yeah.
I rolled credits and I finished.
You come to this bunker and you basically learn. It's like, at least for me, my experience was this was the first time that I realized that this whole game is like set to a fucking revolution of like your mom is like a revolutionary and she was leading these people to go against like I forget all the people now, like the red people. And
Right.
there's like AK-47s, there's like maps of like political violence that they're planning and like all these different things and I'm like walking around like I'm sorry, this game is like about your mother fighting fascism. I had no fucking idea. And that
Okay.
room, the bunker room, there's like so many nuggets of narrative in there that are just so fucking cool.
Very cool. That
Yeah.
seems like a good follow up to when you get to the not the library for the first time, but there's some room that usually has 3 exits, usually pretty deep into blueprints that has like ladders and it's like a bunch of storage and there's a lot to read in there. It's very dense and you end up looking at like newspaper clippings
Oh, yep.
about like the disappearance and stuff like that. And there's some allusions to some violence and some crazy like explosions and bombings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I never really got like a payoff to that little nugget of knowledge. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. And also I think you learn there that like you learn more about the like this escape attempt that happened and that they were like
Yes.
and yeah, it's very cool. Like it's worth for you as someone who's probably never going to touch blueprints again. Honestly, it might be worth just like finding.
I honestly, I do think I am going to experience blueprints again.
You think so?
I think about that game a lot.
Yeah, I started another playthrough the other day on my Steam Deck, and I was like, I think I might go the distance with this because I got to a point with blueprints for me. This is just becoming a blueprints podcast. It got to the point in blueprints for me where I just started looking up like most things of okay, I'm hearing about this like the final puzzle thing. I just want to get to it. Like I want to know what to do. And it's like I never ever would have figured out how to do it. Like all of the things you have to go to. And it's like this end game puzzle essentially that is just fucking so big and there's so many pieces to it. And it's the payoff is really cool. But it's the kind of thing where there's just like so much in that game and so many things that I feel like I've forgotten most of it now because of how far
I'm
it
too
is.
far gone.
Yeah.
You're an Outer Wilds guy or no?
So that is a game that I want to work towards streaming because my experience with Outer Wilds, I do think I need to stream it, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I played Outer Wilds years ago, and I got very deep. I didn't beat it, but I got to a point where, because like the way that like you track progression, it's like all these different like messages and things or whatever in like the thing where you can look and like, oh, this objective did this did that. And I got so deep in the game that I had done, let's say 50 objectives of some kind of like, okay, I've figured out the planet where the sand moves back and forth. I figured out like all these different things. And I just got to a point where it's like, there is seemingly nowhere else to go and figure things out, but there is, but I just can't. And the walkthrough economy of that game is a mess because there's so many different things. I was like, I was reading shit for like an hour online trying to figure out where I should be going, and I literally couldn't find an answer because of how all over the place that game is.
I can see that.
So I was like, I want to stream it so that I can have people in chat be like, have you done this yet? Oh, you need to go do this because
you have to restart now.
I do have to restart. It'll be a total new game.
Did you learn some premises? Like, did you learn some concepts of like how things work in that game? Like not time, but like.
Yes, but I don't remember what they are at this point. But I remember like with their like the ancient language or whatever, and there was a bunch of like shit from back then that I learned.
Okay.
But Yeah, it's been so long.
Yeah,
Because
you should
this would
stream
have
it.
been
It's so good, and also good community.
pre-COVID.
The Outer Wilds,
Oh,
people
cool.
love watching people play Outer Wilds for the first time.
Hell yeah.
Some of the best fucking category Andes that could possibly exist.
Okay, good to know. And yeah,
Hmm.
that's the kind of thing similar to Blueprints where there's going to be a lot of things that I remember about that game.
Hmm.
Like the first time the fucking fish with the big thing ate me.
Oh,
But
oh.
then there's going to be so much of that game that I have like no recollection of at all. So
There
I think that'd be
are
a fun
so
one.
many memorable moments from that game for
Yeah.
sure, and the fact that you aren't opposed to it and want to get back into it is just a good sign for investment.
Yeah.
I will say, here I got a little fucking exclusive, a Dido exclusive for you.
Ooh.
That unless something changes, Hades 2 is my game of the year.
It's going to be mine. I don't see it's going to change for me. And
Yeah, it
I've had
shifts
this
everything down a place.
I've had this hope because here's the thing. Let's talk with Cirrus about Dido Game of the Year right now. Almost certainly it's going to be Expedition 33 because it's going to be
Well,
at
I
the
don't
top.
think so.
I think so. And let me paint the picture for you. It's going to be number 1 for COG. Only thing that'll take it out for COG is Metroid, but I don't think it will. I think it's going to be number 1 for COG. I think it's going to be number 1 for Kayla. I don't see anything
Really?
taking it down Kayla's. Because at the moment, last I heard, this was a while back, but last
Did
I heard it
Kayla
was
beat
her.
it?
She did, I think.
Oh shit!
It's gonna be Jerica's. If it's not Death Stranding 2, it's Expedition 33, and I think it might be Expedition 33. And then it's not gonna be on my list at the moment. It's not gonna be on your list. Cayman
Cayman?
is a question mark. I don't know about Cayman. And then if Josh is gonna be voting on Game of the Year, it's gonna be in his number 1.
Josh isn't voting on Game of the Year.
Okay.
Not because I don't love Josh,
Sure.
but he doesn't have a full year of Dido to.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about this. That's right. That's right. But I mean that already. That's potentially 3 people in their number 1 spot. I don't see.
I think it's.
Something
I don't
beating it.
think it's. Even with 3 people in his number 1 spot, there is like a dark horse where like, if Donkey Kong Bonanza is like 5 people's 3rd or 4th favorite game of the year, then there's like a problem. You know what I mean? Just like the way the points could shake out.
Maybe.
Because Kayla and Jerica both really liked Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's my 2nd favorite game of the year. I doubt that it moves. It's probably going to be in your top 5.
It's right
I
now.
don't
It's
think
my
Cayman
number
will
4.
pop up, and then it might for COG if he gets
Or
to
no.
it because
It's my number.
COG
3.
has a Switch too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's COG's like 4 at the moment, but I think to Sirius's point right now, I think Hades 2 is the only thing that has a shot. I was hoping that Blueprints would be able to just get 1 spot above Expedition 33, but it's not gonna.
The thing that we have to worry about though is that if my outlet's first full game of the year crowned is Expedition 33, I have to leave the outlet.
Sure.
I can't live in this fucking world.
I do think it's very likely that it ends up being Expedition 33 because also as I look ahead,
oh my god,
I think Hades 2 is the only thing that has a shot of unseating it. But the problem with Hades 2, it's not going to be on Cayman's list at all because he's not going to play it. If Kayla doesn't get around to it, it's not on her list. It will probably be on Jerica's list. I just don't know where. And then I don't think COG is playing it. So it might only be on yours and my list at number 1. And
there's only one solution. We gotta call on Maury, dude.
Sure. Get him in. Call him up.
And he better be adamant about his anti-fucking Expedition 33 stance.
I do think he maybe liked Expedition 33, but I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know. My hope.
I bet Maury. You know what Maury loves though? A fucking indie, dude.
That's true.
I bet he fucking loves Gen Z art and fucking super giant games.
It's true. We don't
design
have
philosophies.
a Switch 2 for him, so we're gonna have to get him to play it on PC. But
No, it's a Switch 1 game.
Say that one more time.
That's a Switch 1 game.
What I heard was that's a Switch 1 game.
That is true. That's a Switch 1 game. And he's got a PC.
That's a Switch 1 game.
He's good to go.
He's good to go. GTG, good to go.
GGG.
But yeah, I don't. And as I look ahead, also, I think I will be surprised if Hades 2 is not my game of the year, and I don't think there's anything else coming unless something really surprises me like a keeper.
We should do like a ranked voting of. We have to change the way that we do game of the year immediately. All right, first year. And the reason why is I feel like we need to be able to tank things. Like when we were voting for our favorite names for
Yeah.
the podcast, a little inside baseball here. We were trying to narrow down names, so we were told to vote on how much you like a name and like rank them. So you would give like your first favorite game 10 points and your second favorite name 9 points and your third favorite name 8 points. And I knew it was going to be a 2-horse race, so I gave 10 points to my favorite name and 1 point to my second favorite name, so that it would
That's funny.
tank it, so it would tank it down further and have less sympathy points.
Did you do that with 8-bit disco, Jake?
Maybe.
Wow. I mean, here's the thing. I can't be upset because I thought of both names. Drop and Drop Out was also a Patrick name. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Patrick won. But that is interesting if we can be like, you get to
It's
say
a smart
one
idea
thing
though,
gets
to just
negative
tank
points.
your.
Yeah.
For sure. What gets your stinker of the year?
Yeah, which it would be it would make sense for you to do an Expedition 33. It would be unfair for me to do Expedition 33 because I did like it more than you. I just don't think it's an all-timer.
I think if you wanted Hades 2 to win, it could be an 8-bit disco like in that you can take it, just to make sure the thing you like a little bit better does better.
At some point, I do want us to do a Dido stream where we talk a lot about that first like 3 months of us forming the company and just like put shit on blast that was just like terrible ideas. Like there was one of the names that made it so much further than it should have. I can't think of what it is now, but it had the word forge in it. And it was just so bad, but it made it really deep in the race of names. And it was the kind of thing where it's like, I can't allow this name to have forge in it. It was like Pixel Forge or like,
oh, Pixel Forge does sound
something
right.
like that. And it just like, there were a few people, I don't remember who all liked it and didn't like it. There were a couple people where it was like their favorite. And I was like,
do you guys want the names? I got the names here.
Well, we could, I mean, unless we want to save it for an actual show where we talk about all that.
Let me just do a couple fucking.
We can do a couple honorable mentions.
Pixel Forge is right. Pixel Disco is also on there.
Yeah, that's right. Pixel Disco. And then which people liked 8-bit disco more than Pixel Disco. So it's like, okay, I'll fucking pivot to 8-bit disco.
One Encounter, which is terrible.
It's a horrible name.
Horrible. AFK, which is also horrible.
Yeah, that one got a lot of buzz, and I never liked AFK either. Interesting. Very interesting.
Interlock Arcade, dude.
What the fuck is that even? This shit would have tanked if we did any name other than Drop In, Drop Out.
I agree.
And that includes
disco.
8-bit disco. We would have done okay with 8-bit disco. But the thing, which I agree with, the thing about 8-bit disco is it makes it seem like it would have been a retro thing. And it's
looking at the results is so funny, dude. If I would have been, I fear my tanking would have changed the name of this company.
Really?
I'm looking at the results right now, and 8-bit disco has 37 points and Drop In Drop Out has 46, and it's literally my 1 versus my 9.
Wow.
Put it to a tie.
To a tie.
I
didn't know this, that you tanked it on purpose.
I played it dishonestly.
You're
I
such
was
a little
metagaming,
bitch.
dude. I was metagaming.
I mean,
sorry for making the world a better place and landing us on the right name.
You did land us on the right name. That is true. I will hold this against you, though. Forever.
I understand.
Yeah, forever.
When given the opportunity to loosely interpret what integrity may be, I will walk the line.
Yeah.
Much like Johnny Cash and his dame. What's her name?
June Carter. Nailed
John Carter's sister.
That's exactly right. The Carter 3.
Right.
I wanted disco in the name so badly. For some reason, I was hyper fixated on disco as like a fun, groovy,
It is
funky
fun,
situation, which is
groovy.
good
I
and fun.
still stand by 8-Bit Disco being like our retro game podcast within the podcast is very good.
Yeah. I mean, right now,
Dido Network.
hey, these games are pretty good, huh? Hades and Hades 2 podcast might be the first of many branch out podcasts. And this
I
won't be
agree.
the last episode, I fear.
No, not at all.
We do need to get more eyes on YouTube. We only have 8 views on the YouTube episode so far, but it's doing well on podcast services.
Hey, we'll take that.
We'll take
We'll
that.
take that. You know what we should do next time?
Yeah.
Let's stream. Hey, these games are pretty good, huh? A Hades 1 and 2 podcast in the Hades category.
I almost did that for this today, and then I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you said that,
See how that goes.
I question every decision I've ever made.
Right. Understandable. Still time to rectify it.
Yeah. Before we go, I need your guidance, Jake. And this isn't about Hades or Hades 2.
Yeah.
I am about halfway through Silent Hill F right now, and I'm having a great time with it. Not going to be a Game of the Year contender by any means. It might get that like bottom third of my list, but there's some big glaring issues that I have with the game from that like a lot of people are like the gameplay kind of sucks. Like the combat is pretty terrible in the game, but otherwise it's great. Love the story, love the vibe. It's all very very enticing. But Ghost of Yotei comes out tomorrow, and that's going to be a thick boy to play through. And I can't beat Silent Hill F tonight, but I do fear that once that game releases, that it will have its fucking hooks in me. But then I also have Hades 2, and I really want to play Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles.
Oh, dude, fucking Final Fantasy Tactics
I
has
want
me
to
by
play
the
it so
balls right
bad,
now.
but I don't. So, like, I guess what I'm asking is, what do you think I should prioritize? Like, because I don't want to burn through Hades either, but
Ghost of Yotei.
So kind of burn through Ghost of Yotei a bit.
This is the fucking Outer Worlds conundrum, dude. You had weeks with Silent Hill F. If you wanted to, you would have.
I didn't have weeks. I had a week and a half.
You had like 1 week. Okay. Either way, I had 5 years to play Outer Worlds 1, and now I have 30 days until Outer Worlds 2 comes out. And I'm over here like, well, I could play Outer Worlds 1 before Outer Worlds 2. And the core of this problem is that if I had 5 years to play Outer Worlds and I never fucking wanted to, then maybe I didn't ever want to play Outer Worlds 1 that bad, and I probably shouldn't be excited for Outer Worlds 2.
I played Outer Worlds 1, and you did not miss very much at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm going to play Outer Worlds 2 just because it's going to be on Game Pass, but...
$30 a month!
Is that an immediate change? I've not really read all of it. I just know that it's happening.
I don't know. I know that you start to get in November. You start to get the Fortnite crew thing. For me, I'm actually saving $2 a month on Xbox Game Pass now because I had a $12 a month built-in Fortnite budget for Fortnite crew, and now they're lumped in.
2 years ago, roughly, there was some Wario 64 deal where he was like, if you stock up on Xbox Live right now, you will save like $190 on like 3 years. Like you could max out what they would allow you to max out essentially. And it was on like such a deep discount. So I did that. I spent like $250 or something, but it ended up saving me like almost that amount. Like I forget all the details, whatever. That shit runs out this month. Right before they fucking change it to be $30 a month. I've not had to pay for that shit for like 2.5 years or 3 years, and now I'm about to have to pay 30 fucking smackaroos a month. I think I'm just gonna cancel it until there's a game I want to play, because
that's the right way to do it. I mean, the problem is that if they're smart, they will trickle again, which they are already beginning to do, because they're going to get me for October with Keeper and Call of Duty beta, and then they'll get me again in November with the full version of Call of Duty. Then in December, I'm not sure if they'll get me. Depends on what their other like releases are as we try to clean up the year, and then it rolls into January, February. The questions are like, are you going to have hot months or bad months? Because
I mean, as I look at what is not an entire calendar for the rest of the year, the only 2 games that jump to me that I know of are Keeper and Outer Worlds 2. And I can spend $30 on Keeper and not spend $90 for the rest of the year. Oh, that's what it was. You could convert Xbox Live to Game Pass before they got rid of Xbox Live. That's what it was.
The thing is like next year, Xbox first party, like we got Forza slated, we got Fable slated, we have Gears of War E-Day heavily rumored.
Not interested in Gears of War Day. So
Potential.
I'll probably just
dude.
buy Fable for $70 and save what $260.
I mean, dude, like listen, it fucking slipped, but for first party Xbox games this year, Avowed, South of Midnight, Oblivion, Powerborn, Doom, Tony Hawk, Grounded 2, Gears of War Reloaded, Keeper, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, Black Ops 7 is a fucking crazy lineup.
That is an unreal lineup, and that doesn't take into it like they're like Silksong. Like we don't, both of us don't give a shit about Silksong, but like
Silksong,
those kinds of things.
Expedition 33.
Yeah, yeah. There were some really valuable
third party
games. Not very
bangers.
good, but fucking Bike World or whatever, Wheel World, that was on Game Pass.
Wheel World, fantastic.
2 was on Game Pass.
Oh, the classic Stinker of the Year. They really fucked us on that.
Yeah, you know what's going to be
really fucked us on that.
Surprising and honestly makes me very proud of this company? I think there is one person that might put Silksong on their list, and it's going to be Jericho. I don't think anybody else is even going to have a Silksong in their top 10. Maybe Cog has it toward the bottom, but he's burnt out on Silksong from what I hear.
Even, dude, if we could... Oh, dude, Blueprints was on fucking Game Pass.
That's right. I bought that shit.
Crazy.
No, actually, Blueprints was on PS Plus as well, so I just played it on PS Plus.
Oh, yeah, it launched on both. I think you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Wild. PS Plus didn't have a bad year either.
No, but also I realized recently that shit's also really fucking expensive too. That's like between $200 and $300 a year for the best one.
Yeah, but I am set to renew on Black Friday every single year, and it always goes on sale for like a decent amount off. Like I think I spend like $150 a month usually now.
What I normally
a year, and I always buy it annually.
What I normally do is...
listen, they don't fucking offer that at all. There is no 3-month code for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Like, that doesn't exist. Did you know that? You can't go in there and be like, just bill me for the year. There's no discount. You can only get it fucking monthly. You have to put in your credit card so that you'll forget about it and hopefully lose $30.
Huh. Microsoft doing a really nasty business practice to make billions of dollars. That's surprising to me. What I normally do with PlayStation Plus is when I realize like there's not going to be much that I'm going to be touching on the like higher end, I'll do a year of the base for like what $90 or whatever, and then like 5 months in there'll be something that I really want on the higher tier, and I was like, just put me on the higher tier for the rest of the year, and then it's only like $60 or whatever because they prorate it. That's how I've done for the last like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I've only done that deal with like when they introduced like Nintendo Switch Online with expansion pack. It was like $20 to upgrade from my $20 one for the remainder of the year or something like that. But
that's right.
Outside of that, especially with streaming, such a built-in fucking cost, and the cost of milk continues to go up.
Not if it's being produced in your household. I of course refer to breast milk, Jake.
Right. Yeah. Mine, male breast milk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, correct. Well, we didn't talk about Hades for the last 30 minutes of this podcast, but I do fear we are at the end, Jake. What final words do you have to say about Hades and Hades 2?
Hey, these games are pretty good, huh?
Very, very good. Cirrus, the GOAT, in the chat with us this whole time. Thank you so much. Also, shout out to the other folks that were here throughout the rest of this episode. I remember Kayla, I remember Cog, I remember Gianni, Heroic Headgear, Eula. We had some bangers in the chat. Rabbit as well, still here. We love to see it. Rabbit and I are kind of in this, like, we're pretending we hate each other for content, but we'll always love each other. So I do appreciate that he's still here. Even though last night he was being very mean to me in Fall Guys, but I still got the dub. Sure. We'll be back Thursday, which is tomorrow night, to talk about the most unsettling moments in video games. Which I think is going to be me, Cog, and Cayman most likely. I don't think you're on that show. Is that right?
Probably not.
Yeah. If you wanted to be, there's a seat for you. And I always like podcasting with you.
That's true. That's true.
We'll see.
Maybe I show up.
Well, maybe. We'll see. W's for everybody in the chat. W's for you for listening. Go tell a friend if they like Hades and Hades 2. If you know that they've cleared Hades 2 or they don't care about spoilers. tell them about these episodes on the Drop In Drop Out feed, because I think we're making good shit, but I just don't think people know about it yet, and that's on us for marketing it. Zero.
Yeah. Saturated.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.